Right, guys, welcome back. We are looking at probably one of the greatest bantamweight fighters of all time, if not one of the greatest of his generation for sure. Um, Peter Yan just damn near out. I would almost argue he 50-45 Figueiredo. It was a great fight. It was back and forth. Figueiredo had his moments. It was really fun to watch. But I think at the end of the day, like Peter Yan looks so good. And I really want to talk about the fact that he he basically I don't know. I like Jan so much because he's so efficient with everything he throws. He's so smooth and just like very it's just all very just technique oriented and like the biggest thing with him is in my opinion is that he's just so he's not greedy with anything. Like he's always perfectly in and out, throws just the right amount of strikes that he needs to. If he sees danger or the counter, he pulls out when he needs to. He gets out of the way. He's never like he doesn't get into like traditional slugfests. This was a back and forth fight at times, but it wasn't like a brawl. They just both exchanged very technically. And at times it did get a little sloppy for sure. Yeah, sometimes I guess, but for the most part, it was so again just technical, very calculated. Almost is kind of what I'm looking for here. Um, Especially from Jan, like say he's so good at um just again he's not greedy. I think that's the best way to put it. Like a lot of fighters you see, they get somebody hurt or they land a good shot, and whether they get a reaction or not, like they just want to keep putting on the pressure. They just want to keep piling it on. And sometimes that's how they get caught. They try and do too much, and uh, their opponent isn't as hurt as they thought they were, and they old boy just slips counters, and then they sometimes get hurt or they get put out. We see that quite a bit, quite often. Fighters will get a very overzealous, but Jan is just not like that. And he's just never been like that. And there was quite a few things that the commentators were saying. Um, I should have pulled those clips up, but you'll just have to trust me. Uh, they were just saying things that we hear them say every time Jan fights, like um, just how he just looks so good, or like he just looks like he's been in control. And it's like, yeah, they say this about a lot of fighters, right? Like all the time. It's just it's basic sayings, but it's like very rarely, if ever, in a Jan fight have we heard like man, Jan's really getting dominated here, or this is really, like if the fight was going the other way, it was like, oh, like this is really Figueiredo's fight, like we're really seeing Jan start to fade and this and that. Like we don't ever really hear that with Jan, and there's a reason for that, and it's because he is so technically sound and not greedy with his combinations, especially in the pocket. Um, and actually, I wanna really give a big shout out to like Laura Sanko in this fight in this whole card, but especially like this fight, she was trying to like really say a lot of the things that I think like Bisping just wasn't really saying. I mean, we know how Bisping can be, especially on commentary, so it wasn't really a surprise to me. But I really feel like Laura deserves a shout out um, for like she was trying to be more of an analyst about the fight, and I do respect that. And she was bringing up like Jan always looks for that hand control, especially especially in the switch stance. Like he's always, whether he's literally full on grabbing the wrist or he's just kind of pawing at the hand, trying to like control. He's just trying to control that hand, and he's got that very long guard. He's always trying to measure distance, whether that's here or here, and then the other hand is always protecting, and sometimes he'll guard both the hands and with to swing the elbow over top. He's just so good with the distance control, the distance management, and being able to throw strikes um, off of the wrist control. And then we really saw him use that uppercut, which was just beautiful. I mean, Figgy couldn't figure out how to block an uppercut to save his life. Literally, he probably ate like at least 10 uppercuts and probably like 5 or 6 uh in one round. Actually, I take that back. Yeah, he probably ate like 20 uppercuts to be honest. Like Jan just kept going to that, especially like I think it was like round 3. I don't know. We just watched the fight. So I'd have to go back and rewatch it to really like dive deep into it, but I don't know, man. Jan was just throwing that uppercut over and over and over again, and Figgy could not for his life decide like how he wanted to handle it. Figgy tried to take it down, but Jan just kept escaping. Jan's also really good at that. Just little escapes, and he always finds ways to like what's the word like improvise different random escapes. We saw him literally like the way he like fell into grabbing the leg and basically pulled that over and escaped out the back. And then there was another time where he literally just like shot through Figgy's legs essentially. Figgy just rolled over him and he came underneath. Um, and he's just good at making the split second decisions when he hits the ground to figure out okay how do I just get out of this and not turn out on bottom or just in a dangerous position. And I think he's also just so good and if you watch Jan, like you know this, he's so good at analyzing his opponent, figuring out like timing and just openings. Um, Sometimes he would do that a little too much, and that would kind of cost him the decision. If it came down to that, he would lose rounds purely because he would basically take the first one or two to just watch his opponent and look for openings, like saying, kind of just analyze. But he looked good. But yeah, it was a good fight overall. I do truly believe that Jan is probably again. I do think after watching the O'Malley fight back, I think he probably got robbed there. I mean, well, I don't know. I think robbed is a little bit of a strong word to use for that fight. I don't think it was a robbery. I do think it could have gone either way. I definitely think I personally was leaning more towards Jan. Um, the dude is just so talented, and I think yeah, he had a few slip ups, um, but when it really can't comes down to it, like I think he beats most bantamweights at this point. I think even the Marab fight, I really feel like if he fights that fight like he just did with this one, defends the takedowns, escapes well, keeps it on the feet. Marab ain't shit on the feet. We all know this. Um, apparently O'Malley didn't know that, but um, dude, I think he wins that fight. I think he beats Marab 100%. I think he's too good technically, and now that he's already fought Marab and he's seen Marab fight multiple times after, he's gonna have so much to go off of, so much knowledge and in his analytical mind. I think he's gonna be able to just pick Marab apart. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe he'll get taken down and subbed in the first round, but I highly doubt that. He's just way too good for that. Um, and it's just no way. But I do think I don't know. I just think he's so underrated. And I think so many people like. He's a guy that like really just goes under the radar unless he's fighting, and even for this fight, like nobody talked about it. And I do think the UFC don't promote fights for shit. Obviously, again, we all know this. And B, like I think because it was so early, um, like over here, Eastern time, Eastern Standard US, this this card started, the prelim started at 3 a.m. Like diehard fans aren't getting up or are the only ones getting up for that shit. 3 a.m. Like bro, on a Friday after we all just worked, it's like bro, what the fuck? Um, well you know what I mean. Friday night, Saturday morning, that type of shit. Technically, this card was Saturday morning, right? But like, I think that's just why nobody talked about it. The whole card the card as a whole just slid under the radar really. And nobody really talked about it. I mean, I think like a few of my buddies were uh hyped up about it, but then I've been getting like texts like yo, like I missed them, or like what happened, like why were they on so early, what's going, like nobody knew. So, but anyways, yeah, this was a great fight. Uh, Jan is super underappreciated, underrated. He's one of the best technically skilled fighters, and he's so good at throwing. And I'll say this: this was another thing that Laura kept saying that I really appreciated was the way, like the shots he chooses to throw from the distance he chooses to throw them is crazy. He'll throw like front kicks and teeps and shit in the pocket. And it's just like how, and I think it's honestly because of his build at bantamweight. Like he's like short enough where like the distance isn't the same like it is with other guys. Like O'Malley could never do that to somebody. His legs are too fucking long, you know. Cheeto kind of the same thing, but then he'll also throw, just beautiful flying knees. He did that in this fight as well. He'll throw head kicks from super close in as well. And I think, again, that's just his build. He's able to get the legs up and the knees up from that close distance, because of how the distance is, because of his build, if that makes sense. I know I butchered that a little bit, but I think you get what I'm saying. Because of his build, he's able to throw strikes in the pocket that a lot of fighters wouldn't be able to throw. And it just adds to the variety of skills in this dude's bag. I mean, his set of tools that he has is so deep, dude. Like it's just like every fight he just adds something new and he just keeps getting better and it's insane. So I don't know. This is a definitely just a me dick riding Peter Yan, but I don't care. This dude's fucking good. And you gotta people gotta start putting real respect on his name, not just when he wins fights. You know, I'm sick of this shit. I'm sick of this bandwagon hop on his dick when he's doing good. You know, then he loses and everybody's like, oh, yeah, maybe he's not as good as we thought. Maybe he's not that guy. No, he is that guy. He's always been that guy. Put some respect on his name. Yeah. Also, dude, did y'all see his son? Dude, that motherfucker looks exactly like him, bro. That is like, if we just took all of his aura and put it into a fucking child, like that's him, bro. They got the same cut. They look the fucking same. They got the same build, bro. Like, this motherfucker's just gonna be short, which sucks for him, but dude, he could be good, bro. He could be fucking good. Um, but no, I just thought that was funny as hell. He put his fucking son on the mic and dude just looked exactly like, yeah, I don't know. That was funny. But either way, good fight, solid fight. The whole card was good, honestly. Worth getting up for, worth watching. Um, definitely. Um, yeah. Maybe we'll do a whole card review. I don't know. I'm just obviously starting off and I'm kind of experimenting with different content. Um, I don't know if I really like the super long form card reviews. And a lot of people do that shit, and it's just kind of like, you know, and I know how I am too, and I just get to yapping, and I'll just go on side rants and shit, and then I'll have to edit down like a 45, 60-minute video, and then it still is like 30 minutes to 40 minutes long. So, um, this video is already probably like what, 15, 20 minutes? I don't fucking know. Probably. But regardless, I'm experimenting with content, figuring things out. Maybe I'll do a whole card review, maybe not. Either way, put some respect on Peter's name. He's one of the best of all time. Um, and I think he's going to prove that in his next fight, for sure. If that's for the title. If not, I feel bad for whoever he's got to fucking face next. But see y'all.